probably uses that term in the most sarcastic way ever. It's just like, no, it's just like, yeah, Deus Volt.
I want to make a character that's basically Groot, but that instead of I am Groot, Deus Volt.
A paladin
You cannot
with like a
say
3
that to him,
intelligence.
Deus Volt. No, we're not going to Deus Volt. No.
I mean, I let
Deus
Tugboat
Volt.
play a brain or a head injury half-elf fighter who had captured a little spriteling in a jar.
Yeah.
That's just Tugboat.
No, Tugboat was like, "Can I make Link? I know exactly how to build it." And I'm like, "Sure, you can play 2 characters. I don't mind."
It was because we didn't have a tank at that point. Like, we had
Yeah.
all squishy people. And so
Yeah.
I rolled up Link so that we had some kind of a frontline fighter.
Mm-hmm.
Hit. We must go
Like,
as quickly as we know how.
No, I did research.
By rolling.
I figured out how to have Navi and everything. She's a spriteling who was captured, and he keeps her in a jar because he's like, "Oh, it's a pretty little fairy." And she's so bitter about this that she refuses to learn any other words in common except for those 2.
Which 2?
Hey,
listen.
Yeah. We
Get me.
had Navi, and then we had a legit fairy assassin.
That is beautiful.
Chad.
The one you hate.
That was his official royal title from the King of the Fairies.
They call me Chad.
Friggin' Chad.
Yep. He
Everybody
wore a
hates
beanie.
Stupid trees. I mean, what?
I feel like at this point, Seaward appears out of nowhere to say, "I speak for the trees," and the trees say...
The trees say, "Can you don't light it on fire?"
Can you don't?
Seaward's more animal focused, though. Like, he would out of the necessity of having the trees for
Habitat.
his little animal buddies, habitats, but not out of like, oh, I love the trees so much.
I saw this.
He says that like he has a general disdain for them.
Turtles aren't very good with trees, okay?
That's okay.
Turtle.
You've tried climbing 1 or 2, haven't you? Seaward.
Oh.
I'm willing to.
Yes, they were all made as
deck
dex checks.
The little elf kids made it look so easy, and tiny little Seaward trying to climb the tree and failing while they all laughed at him.
I bet he actually made it some way up the tree, but when he fell, he landed on his back.
He couldn't get up for 3 days.
It was during those 3 days that he took to being a druid.
He
And it's
befriended a wandering raccoon who helped flip him over.
Was his name Rocket?
You don't know.
But you also don't know. But yeah, we're good to go.
As if you're being deep.
No, I was just thinking back to the post about the Avengers and D&D.
Tugboat, I'm
Yes.
sending you a thing real quick.
What?
I'm sending you a thing for questions.
That scared me because
Okay.
I thought he said he was going to something really quick. And
Oh,
I
gosh.
said, no, let's not.
Please don't.
I'm gonna go get me dinner real quick. What? Come back!
Not allowed. Das ist verboten.
Like the one time Tugboat yelled at me for getting a glass of water before we started. Hey, I'm just gonna go grab water real quick. No! It's like, no, it's I'll be back in 10 seconds.
House in the middle session.
What's that?
At least you didn't have to drive out to your grandmother's house in the middle of the session.
Yeah,
I feel like someone's getting called out here.
Okay. So, brief little story time. My grandma just sold her old house, and she's renting another house in Tacoma. And or go ahead and well,
I know where
whatever.
Tacoma is. My dad's from Buckley.
Yeah. So she is renting out this house, and she decides, hey, I want to get a van. That way I can take my scooter and drive around to all the different stores.
As you do.
That way it's easier for me to put it on instead of putting it onto my giant 4x4 truck that I drive
Lord.
all the time. So she goes and buys this van without telling my dad or any of his siblings, and she pays double what it's worth.
Oh no.
Because they end up like jacking up the price on her because she's old, and she wasn't paying attention.
Oh man.
Obviously. So my dad was super pissed about that, and then all of a sudden she had to take it in, like repairs or something about it, even though it was supposed to be like a brand new van.
Oh.
You had to bring it in for some reason, and then they're like, "Okay, so we're gonna drop it off at your house around 4." And my dad calls me up all of a sudden, and he's like, "Cole, your grandma's not anywhere nearby her house. Can you drive out to her house real quick? Sign for her van if it gets there." Like, oh crap. And that was it during the middle of session. So I was like, guys, I gotta get going. Then I go drive out there, sitting there for about 20 minutes. All of a sudden my grandma gets there. I have to meet you guys again. I leave, talk to her. Apparently they called her in the middle of that time when I was driving out there. They're like, yeah, we can't take it here at that time, so we'll drop it off at 5. And she's there at her house now. So I'm like, oh, crap. So I get into my car, look at my phone. All of a sudden, like right after my grandma tells me I can leave, my dad's like, hey, you can leave. They're not dropping it off until later.
You're like, oh, thank you so much for that.
Yeah, thanks for
That's so
letting me
helpful
know.
now.
Yep. And then
He
right
probably
after
tried to communicate it to you as soon as he knew, but still.
Yeah, exactly.
YOLO.
Well, I mean, kind of.
You live twice. You only die once.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on whether you consider like the dying thing as being an actual interrupt, or whether you just consider it one long continuous thing.
I consider it more of a loading screen, you know?
Before the heat wave, right?
Yeah. It's the bonus round.
Bonus round. New mission, survive.
All right.
I am almost done re-rolling for the whole castle, which I said I wasn't going to do, but then we had time.
I don't blame you at all.
But is that okay, Tug?
I am okay with it.
Okay. I don't know if it's like one of those things where I can
No, you can't do that.
sit around for an hour and learn a new spell, or
so in order, so as a an Eldritch Knight, you are allowed to replace a spell that you learned when you gain a new spell. Like anytime that you gain a level that would give you a new spell, you can replace one of the spells that you have previously learned. So at this exact moment, you cannot just drop it to pick it up, because technically you could cast it, but you do not presently have the gemstone required to cast Chromatic Orb. So
yes, that's always the struggle for Eldritch Knights. Chromatic Orb is wonderful, but expensive. At least it doesn't consume the gem, though, like Revivify.
oh, does it not?
It does not consume the gem, but you need one in the first place.
Oh, okay.
Now I'm just thinking of Zeba Shu's episode about moonstones.
I don't know what those... I understand those words separately. Mostly.
Yes, I did.
And
I
he
really
enjoyed his moonstones. Yeah, that's okay. I took 1 or 2 spells for the cleric that I had physically no means of casting. Hey, you need 100 diamond for this. Okay. I definitely have that in my back pocket.
I mean, I didn't. Whoa. I have to learn to stop putting my phone on the edges of surfaces where me bumping my headphone cord causes it to try to jump off a cliff. But you guys did find a dragon hoard. There's lots of currency and probably some very nice gemstones that could be used for spell casting there.
Mm-hmm.
I just told you guys the items. I didn't tell you like how much currency or gems were there.
Right.
Can that carry over?
To the next time you play those characters, potentially. Depends on who's DMing.
I meant like
He meant over here,
Open
and Ken didn't take the hint. Anyway, we last left off after getting ambushed in the middle of the night, and we killed everything.
Hey, we're back.
Yeah, the cultists tried. It was an adorable attempt.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened, but I completely disappeared. I mean, I know what happened. It's conference center internet.
That's true.
Okay, I'm almost ready. I'm doing this last room, and then we will. Oops.
All right. Let me know before you start, because I'm just gonna write this all off as sound check.
Okay. Got it.
I don't want to have to go through it like 5 times.
Right.
Editing is fun for everyone. Yay! But Kelso, you brought this upon yourself. Shut up.
I'm not rolling 8d8s. That's not happening.
Do you want some D8 rolls?
I got it.
Okay.
Wow. You a beefy boy.
Excellent.
Oh, we so dead.
No,
As it should be.
I doubt it.
I mean, there's always on the other hand, you have 1 beefy boy, or you could have 15 weak boys.
I
I'd
mean,
take 15.
Are you
let's
sure
be
about
real
that?
here.
Are you
Let's
sure
be
about
real
that,
here.
Colton?
Aislinn can have her pick of number and type of boys.
Okay, I am prepared.
Alright, start.
Okay, so last time we played the main story, we made it to Cragmaw Castle. We investigated around the outside of it, and then we set up shop and camped out for a night. Early in the morning, we were discovered by a small band of hobgoblins that rolled through and tried to take you guys down, and I don't think anybody even got hurt really in that fight. Like, there were a couple of little nicks, and then they were promptly patched up. So we left off having been somehow magically refreshed by the effects of a long rest, however that works, and you packed up camp, and you were wanting to figure out how you were going to get to and into Cragmaw Castle.
All right, so
what
do you guys think?
You guys can talk for a second, but I'm gonna take a picture and edit it for you so that you have an idea of
What we're
going
looking
on.
at. Right. Yeah, because We had a scout go and check out a potential backdoor entrance. We had discussed the possibility of... Let's see, find the character voice. Right. We discussed the possibility of me going up to the front gates that way, since I'd left on more friendly terms with our resident wizard. However, there is the concern about it's a very big castle, and if I run into trouble on one end, it's going to be hard for me to get word to the other end where you guys are going in at. So
Another option was discussed between the back door, the front door, and the potential to scale one of the walls.
Scaling. I don't remember discussing that.
Well, we have rope. We only need one person to get up there.
True. If we were to go with Aislin's, I'd suggest have you, Kyle, follow behind stuff or hiding behind some trees or somewhere where it'll be hard to spot you. That way, when Aislinn comes up and someone walks out, it just as a second chance, essentially. In case
So, ambush in case she is struggling through?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
There's tall grass,
Tor-
but I believe it's pretty much a clearing, so I don't think there's any trees.
Correct. Surrounding the castle itself is no trees.
I remember there was a lot of tall grass, though. I could probably hide out in there. Or we can scope out and see if there's any watchtowers. If there's not, I can hide right around the wall. Good distance.
That's true. Yeah. DM Tugboat, can I roll for history to see if I saw
If you what?
any watchtowers? Do a history check.
I mean, there were some arrow slits that were nearby, like on the walls, but there weren't any like specific watchtowers that it looked like there were goblins or anything on.
Is 10 the escape route path? Is that what that is?
No, 10's the area with
what?
That was the stairs on the south side. The escape route, or what you guys are calling the escape route, is up at the top. I think it says C.
Yeah.
Oh,
Alright,
I'm just now realizing this is sideways. I'm sorry. It's a good thing there's compasses on maps.
I just realized that I didn't blank out the key, but whatever.
That's fine.
It's all good.
Beholder lair, huh? There's traps.
Yeah, because that's something that Wizards of the Coast would throw into a third level castle.
I mean, you can do minor versions of beholders like a gazer or something like that.
Spectator.
Spectator. They're so cute.
Yeah, when you had originally described what form the illusion took, you had said a few eye stalks. And so I was imagining a spectator where it has 3 instead of like 12.
Didn't really matter because none of them were real.
That's true. I was really confused as to why we didn't get disintegrated straight out of the gate.
Yes.
And then it made sense later.
Yep.
Alright, so
Right.
what are we thinking the plan is? She's gonna go play distracting games at the front gate?
Yeah.
I think we could probably sneak our way through the south side.
That's where there's a large iron door. And it doesn't look like that's open.
Hmm. All right. Well, we'll throw the south side out. What do you think we should do about the north side?
I say the north side we have Torn and I, along with Airy, walk up there and try to enter.
All right. We just need to be careful
Very well.
because splitting the party is always a good idea.
Barry will give a little nod, understanding what's going on.
All right.
Oh,
Right
as
We also have
just
these. Sorry, go ahead.
just to check, did we ask Ari to switch out one of his spells for Hold Person? Because I know we had talked about it, and then I don't think we ever actually did so, or we didn't really decide on it.
I mean, we're still waking up for the morning, so, well, I think it's an excellent idea.
Yeah. Let's
Okay. We'll switch out this one. Okay, cool. All right. So,
All right.
how are you guys doing this?
Shall we take our positions? The three of you are headed to the north side, and I'll hide in the grass.
Now we
and
do
she'll
also have these. Didn't we get some more robes or something? Did we?
We all have
we
a set of
took some
black
pro-
robes
Yeah, that's right.
and various pins.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we should all don them in case, but
Oh yeah, we could all just try to go through the. Probably.
Is he cutting out for other people too?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably.
Try again.
I was saying we could also try donning our donning the cloaks and then entering through the front end. But that'd be a dumb idea because that leaves the secret one.
I say we
open.
stick to the original plan, but we should don the robes either way.
Yeah, that sounds fair.
Had I described them as black robes?
Black robes.
Okay,
Weren't they supposed to be red?
that's fine.
Well, they were
Yeah,
the original
they were
red
supposed to
robe.
be.
I figured it was a
Yeah.
hierarchy thing. If they're supposed
They
to be red,
were-
they can be.
I think I intended for them to be the same color as the cloth that you guys had, which was like
red.
that maroon red.
Right.
Wine red.
So that was what I meant. But if
That
I
would
had
be a little
said
bit
black, it'd be a little bit harder to what?
Be stealthy in when you're wearing, like, I mean, it's a darker red, but it's still red versus.
Well, okay, we'll
Forestry.
ignore it as far as utility in the plan. Tugboat, that's for you to decide. If that's a mistake you made, we can correct it. It's not a big deal. Whatever you want to do.
I definitely meant for them to be. I've definitely meant for them to be that maroon red.
Okay, so canonically they're gonna be red. Okay, guys.
'Kay.
So as far as
Whoa! You look at the robes and suddenly they're red. Is it a trick of the light, or am I just remembering it poorly?
Aislinn takes a look at it and goes, "That's the same sort of crap that Da used to pull. Whatever." Her dad has a power that's called something stupid. And from a mechanic standpoint, once a session, the gentleman class character / player can change one thing about the world as long as it doesn't actually affect gameplay.
That's fun.
For example, we were fighting a troll, and then suddenly, instead of the troll having a loincloth, it had a diaper.
Loki, is that you?
Essentially. So
That's pretty great.
they're red now. Yeah, this feels like the sort of thing Da would do when he was bored.
Meanwhile, I'm talking over to Brave. Like, are these the same props we had last week?
Gee, I don't know, man.
I don't know. I don't know. I feel like the screenwriter doesn't know what he's doing half the time.
Did you
but
leave him on the prop table, or did you move him again?
Hey,
Ah,
that
shit.
is. I'm an actor. That is not my job. It's not my fault that the crap. What's the name?
Stage manager,
No. What's the name of the guy that brings coffees?
intern,
The intern. Well, no. There's another term for him though.
assistant,
Slave.
PA.
Slave.
Oh,
Yeah, we'll go with
bitch.
slave.
Guys, I'm sorry.
It's not
just
my-
the coffee isn't good every time.
It's not my fault that the intern tends to spill everything half the time. All right. Like, I don't know.
And you're the reason
Okay.
why the stage manager has chronic migraines.
Well,
Damn it!
So-
I ordered a cappuccino, you dumbass.
I'm sorry.
this got out of hand, but on the other hand, I'm totally fine with it.
All I have is hot chocolate.
I'm aware.
Where did my marshmallow go? I ordered it with one giant marshmallow, and you always forget it. How are
No,
you
the
still
giant-
working here?
The giant marshmallow was there, but you let it sit
I
there
never
for
forget the
entire
giant
tape,
marshmallow.
and it melted. I promise, it's in there. It just melted because you took so long. Oh, so it's my fault there's no marshmallow. I think.
Yes.
Oh, this is making it into the edits.
Just clip it to the end as outtakes and bloopers.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Anyways, my
So-
boat's over there dying.
All right.
Right. Azen, you should probably wear it. As far as those of us who are trying to not be as obvious, I'm not going to put it on just yet. I'm going to keep
Right,
that handy in my
so-
bag.
Am I pretending to be myself, or am I pretending to be an initiate?
I think an initiate would probably go more smoothly, but that is up to you.
Right? I mean, Yarno didn't seem to have any problem with me at the beginning, but I don't know that he necessarily gave me name and description to all of his little underlings to be like, hey, if this girl comes by, don't hurt her. She cool, man.
I didn't know Yolar was black.
What accent is
Asuna?
Right, so I met this chick the other day, and she wore this like white and red outfit, and she talked really funny. And I thought, I'd try it out, but I'm not really feeling it. I don't think I'll be using that voice anytime soon.
Did she ask you for help with?
Well,
He
not
cut
in
out,
so
but I'm
many
assuming he
words.
said open your menu.
Not so many words. She basically spent way too much time explaining how much help she didn't need, which I think was actually a cry for help.
I don't ever need help.
I think that's her problem. As far as you three that are going to the north side, whether or not you want to put on your robes, I think is more or less up to you. As long as you don't get caught, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And
if
where
it
are you headed, Kyle?
I'm headed towards the nice grassy fields. As she heads up to the gate, I'm gonna be positioned well into the grass. And laying
Okay.
prone.
All right. So, what I will do is I will have Cody roll for stealth at advantage because you're laying in the tall grass.
20 total.
Okay. And then Cody, or, sorry, not Cody, Colton and Ken, are you guys sneaking up to that north entrance?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Torin, what armor are you wearing?
I believe I am wearing Dwarven breastplate.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So that is going to impose disadvantage on your stealth roll.
Oh,
But then Airy and Brave can make their stealth rolls regular.
not at advantage, or not at an
Not at
advantage.
advantage. No, not at an advantage because you are approaching the entrance. You're not using the grass to conceal yourself all the way up.
Okay. I rolled 20 total.
Okay. Ari rolled a total of 8.
I don't think
That
if you
beats
have
my
just the
6.
I think if you have just the breastplate, if you don't have full plate armor, I think just the breastplate doesn't actually impose disadvantage.
Oh, does it?
Does it not?
Are you wearing full plate armor or are you wearing just a breastplate?
Just a breastplate. So I guess it wouldn't be banging against each other, but
I always figured the disadvantage was more of a weight thing.
The disadvantage is more like overall encumbrance.
Right.
Because you're just wearing the breastplate, it's not as cumbersome and it's not banging against a bunch of other metal, so it doesn't have a stealth disadvantage. Chainmail,
Okay.
on the other hand, does. If I remember correctly.
Sorry, I dropped there, but what I said was that you can re-roll that Torin so that you don't have disadvantage on it. Or if you happen to remember what your first roll was, you can take the first one.
okay. Yeah, I'll just reroll it.
Okay.
That's a 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I mean, as far as you guys feel well hidden, but we will see how well that turns out. So, Aislinn, you are not sneaking, correct?
Right. Trying to got the robe on, hood up, just sort of acting natural as I approach
Okay.
the front door.
Are you? So you're wearing just? I mean, not obviously. You're wearing your armor under the robe, but
Yeah.
you're wearing just the robe.
Trying to remember if they had any. Did they have? They didn't wear their symbol like on the outside of the robe, right?
The pins were attached to the robes, if I recall correctly.
Yes.
If that's the case, then I'd have the one of the pins in place as well.
Okay. Sounds good. So you approach. You go up the short flight of steps. It leads up to a terrace in front of the main entryway. Past the wreckage of a pair of sundered doors lies a shadowed hall. Round towers loom over the entranceway with dark arrow slits looking down on the terrace. And let's see here. You hear a voice call out from one of the arrow slits. Halt! Who goes there?
Yeah, who wants to know?
Well, King Grow would want to know.
Well, are you King Grow?
No.
Well, he can ask me himself. Open the door.
The door's not open. The door's not closed.
Well, look,
The
you're not
door.
Say
The
again?
door is knocked down.
Okay, I wasn't sure whether there was.
is no door.
Okay, I wasn't sure whether that was like old doors or something like that. Okay. Well, seems you're not as stupid as you look. There may be hope for you yet. And I'm gonna keep walking forward.
You can't see it, but the goblin, like he makes a face for a second, like you insulted him, and then after a moment, he's thinking, and he goes, "Oh, she actually said I'm pretty smart," and he kind of like smiles, and like, "Ha ha ha." Yeah, that boys, she said I'm smart.
Irish diplomacy. Telling someone to go to hell in such a way that they look forward to the trip.
Okay. Doors stand closed to the north and south, with a crumbling mound of rubble partially obscuring the southern hall. To the east, a broad corridor ends in 2 more doors leading south and east. The corridor is cluttered with dusty rubble and fallen plaster from a partial collapse at the ceiling overhead.
All right.
Okay.
Now we're at the part that
So
we didn't think of.
yeah,
Like, do I just stay here?
I don't
Do
know
I
what your
scale a
plan
wall?
was.
Do I stay and watch the front gate?
I mean, you overheard that conversation, right? You could probably. I'm with her.
But his charisma is at neutral, 0. So
I mean, I
It's
didn't
not in
have
the
to roll
negative
for it.
anymore.
Goblins are stupid, and that's okay.
They are stupid, and that is perfectly fine.
Okay, so while Aislinn has made it in to the front entrance, Airy, Torin, and Brave are sneaking around to the top, to that northern wall. Let's see here. I'm going to make. Oof. So as you guys approach, let's see here. All right, so you guys are heading up towards the castle. I need you guys to make perception checks.
yes,
Non-natural 20.
What was that, Ken?
Non-natural 20.
Non-natural 20. Got it. And Brave, what did you roll?
Perception, right?
Yeah.
12.
Okay. Well, Torin and Airy both notice the footpath that is leading up to the side of the wall, and as they approach it, they notice that there is a canvas, like a canvas tarp type thing, that is hanging on the inside of the wall, and it has been painted and decorated in such a manner that it looks pretty natural. It was pretty hard to see, actually, but you guys both find it pretty easily as you're coming up closer to it. And yeah.
Sweet.
So it's like Wile E. Coyote painted canvas wall.
Kind of, yeah. It's hanging from the inside of the wall, so it's not like on the outside. So it's more of like a canvas door, but it has been it has been disguised in such a way that, like, from a distance, it's actually kind of hard to tell that it is, in fact, like a hole in the wall.
Okay.
So it's like a hole in the wall covered by a canvas covering a hole in the wall.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna run up and take it or try to look in and just see what I can see.
Okay. So running up to it, you've completely broken stealth, and when you throw it open, the door at the southern end of this tower, the door, like, is swinging open, and it hits, like, the wall, like it was just thrown open and somebody ran through it.
Okay.
But inside, let me read the description here. This tower has almost completely collapsed, although the ground floor still has a little open space. A couple of old rotting crates and ancient barrels show that provisions were once stored here. A door blocks a crumbling area to the south, and an intact door leads east. There are also a couple of tables that have now abandoned alchemical alembics on it.
So there were 2 doors, one that's blocked by rubble that leads to the east, right?
No, the one that leads to the east is not blocked. The one that is to the south is like partially blocked, or like right outside of it seems partially blocked by rubble.
I'm going to very sneakily go to the next, to the east door.
Okay, you can roll me for stealth again.
That sweet, sweet stealth. 14.
14. Okay. We're going to pause you there and cut back over to Kyle. Kyle, what are you doing?
I think for the time. Okay, so the arrow slit is probably how far from me then? I know I didn't really specify where I was. I was a
I
little
don't know.
bit
How
off to
far
the.
did you want to? How far did you want to stop from the castle?
I'm gonna say a solid 30 feet, a little bit to the north of the west path.
Okay. Okay. Sounds good.
Can I tell if I would be visible if I were to run straight up to the wall?
You could attempt to move sneakily.
For
The height of
14.
the grass would help you so that you don't have to move at like half speed necessarily. You feel like with a pretty good low crouch, you could get within 10 or 15 feet um, without like breaking cover too much.
Okay.
Um,
I'm gonna move towards the wall, and while still stealthed,
okay.
I am going to cast Disguise Self in order to make myself appear precisely as Aislinn did.
Okay.
And then I'm going to stay there for the remainder of my turn.
Okay. So you are still hiding in the grass about 15 feet out from the wall, right? And
Yes.
then you now look like Aislinn.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Aislinn, you have just come inside of the castle. There are doors to your north and south and east.
Okay. And there was some rubble in here too. Does it seem like just rubble from whatever blew in the or knocked down the doors, or does it look like?
This entire castle is in a state of collapse and disrepair.
Okay.
So it doesn't necessarily look like there was any like one siege or anything that happened that has caused everything to start collapsing. It's just kind of falling apart because there's nobody to care for it.
Okay. Well, I know my buddies are coming in from the east. Is there any difference in the doors? Like, do some of them seem more simple, some of them more ornate, different sized passageways? Any discernible difference between the three?
From where you are standing, they're all pretty standard looking like wooden doors. Are you like doing a perception check on them?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so you can go ahead and roll me for
them
perception.
dice. Okay, let's hear. Go with what I have available. That's a 9.
9. Okay, so we'll start at what would be your left and working your way around. So you approach the northern doors, and they both seem to be just like wood doors. They're kind of dilapidated. They're like everything else in this castle seems to be. They're falling apart, but not necessarily immediately dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
And then, as you are heading around the room in a clockwise fashion, as you approach the eastern doors, you trip over a small copper tripwire. And you need to make me a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. Deck save. That's a 14.
Okay. So you will only take half damage
Sweet.
of 9, 12. So you're going to take a total of 6 points of bludgeoning damage as the ceiling collapses on top of you. You manage to kind of roll out of most of the way. One beam kind of slams down on your back, but it's not, it's not. It impacts and it hurts, but it's not like crushing you.
Yeah, I'm gonna be sore tomorrow. That's okay.
And then pretty immediately, there are a few goblins that come out. There are 2 that come out from the north and 2 that come out from the south. And the one that, he sounds like the one that was talking to you earlier, so you would assume that he was the one that was talking to you earlier.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "Hey, what's going on?"
What's going on is you guys set the tripwire in the wrong spot.
Let's see here. How would he respond to that? Well, we thought that everybody was aware of the tripwire. It was supposed to be for intruders.
It was supposed to be, but you laid it at the wrong height.
Roll persuasion. Because he is starting to put 2 and 2 together that if you weren't aware of the trap, you might not be who you say you are.
What?
What about
I rolled a
performance?
natural 20. It doesn't matter.
You
what
did?
Skill that was a natural 20. So any
Okay.
charisma-based skill, that's a minimum of 25. With persuasion, that's a 26.
He's gonna he looks really ashamed for just a moment, and then he like backhand fists his buddy next to him,
Yeah.
and he's like, "I told you it was too high. We should have put it lower."
See the robes? The robes, they make it really hard to, avoid the tripwires. You're supposed to put it lower because then intruders aren't going to be looking that low, and people wearing robes are less likely to trip over it.
All of the goblins are kind of, oh, yeah.
I make eye contact.
King Grohl just kind of tells us to go down the south around through the castle.
Right. Well, if there's more incompetence like this that way, then I suppose I'll have to do that as well.
No, that was the only trap.
Do I believe him?
Roll insight.
Okay. With my modifier, that's 23.
As far as you can tell, he is positively telling the truth.
Perfect. All right. Well, is he expecting me?
Well, after the tripwire being tripped, he probably will be. But if you want, I can go and tell him first.
Well, I suppose I should figure out what kind of a mood he's going to be in. What sort of day have we been having? Give me just your standard report.
So far, it's been quiet. Although, we were expecting hobgoblins back. They didn't come.
Right. I mean, the roads have been busier than normal. They probably got waylaid. We'll slow them down.
Yes.
Yes.
Have you seen Hobgoblin?
Yes.
Let's see here. I think I might have passed them on my way, but since I was traveling by myself, I could move a bit quicker than them with their whole group thing, and they were carrying stuff.
He believes you.
Of course he does. Why would I lie? I mean, I'm mostly telling the truth.
Yeah, I mean,
I did see them. I did pass
She did
them.
see them. She is traveling at the moment by herself.
yes. Well, maybe we'll see them today.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I'll go tell the king that you're coming.
Perfect.
And he's gonna scamper off. He goes like over the rubble, opens the door, and he goes, No, nothing to worry about. And then he passes on through the room ahead of you.
Does it seem like he's taking a shortcut, or more like he's just going forward to announce me right before I go in?
He looks like he's taking like the most direct route through the castle instead of going south and around the whole route of the castle like they would have previously. Because now that the trap has been tripped, there's nothing for him to watch out for.
Right before I follow him that way, I'm gonna turn to the one who he like smacked about the tripwire, and I'm gonna just, all right. So, if you want to avoid any further consequences for your poor planning, I'd recommend that you're more careful on guard duty, and I do have an associate coming after me, so the next person you see in a similar robe, let them in. Don't question them, they're a little cranky.
Oh, yes. Of course.
Yes. All right. Well,
And then, so the other three will go back to their posts. The one goes up to the north. The other two go down to the south.
and I'm going to follow after the goblin whose name I really should have caught, but here we are.
Okay.
I'm off to see
We're
the
gonna
king.
pause. We're gonna pause you there, and go back to Torin and Brave, and Aerie. But Aerie is just kind of following. So, Torin, you have walked into a crumbling tower. There was a door swinging open as you came in, but there is not a trace of anybody in there. Torin?
Hey, sorry, I forgot to turn on my push to talk. I'm going to very sneakily look back at Brave and kind of like wave him in.
All right, I'll follow.
Okay, and Aerie will as well.
Okay, and I just want to kind of look around a little bit and like take my time, be super quiet about everything, not wanting to stumble in and scare everybody.
Okay. As you are going through the room, give me perception checks. Oof. That is not a good roll for Aerie.
Perception?
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's a 23, natural 20.
Oh, dang.
That's 12
And-
plus 4, 16.
Okay. So, both of you, but not Aerie, notice a small spectral rat hiding out underneath one of the tables that has the alchemical alembics on it.
No.
I'm sorry, the what on it?
The rat.
The alchemical alembics, like alchemy things, the glass vials and the spinny beakers that go over the fires and stuff that you use for mixing and distilling and all that jazz.
Okay. I that doesn't really strike a chord with Torin, does it? I don't think
Roll history.
I 15.
15. You would remember that this small spectral rat is the summoned familiar of Iarno, or otherwise known as Yeldar. The guy that you chased out of the Red Brand hideout back in Elderfell.
Okay, I got you now.
And it seems to just be sitting there, watching you.
Can I roll for Arcana to check what I could do to make sure that this information isn't relayed back to Yarno?
You could certainly try.
I'm proficient in, so that's why I'm asking.
You can try.
All right. So that's a 13 in total.
13.
Yeah.
You would know that there is nothing in particular that you can do. If Iarno is magically looking through the eyes of the rat, there is nothing that you can do to stop it.
Okay.
Blind the rat.
Well, no, we can't kill it or can't blind it because that'll probably.
It sets
Well,
off just
no.
as many alarms.
It does.
So we just can't touch that rat.
Get off the game!
What?
You yelled that?
Who was
My
that?
brother-in-law. They're all chilling on my back porch because it's a very nice little spot, and I'm in here playing D&D.
Tell him to fuck off.
With those words. Okay.
I'm about to. They're all really loud out there.
So what are you guys gonna do? You guys will have like another, I'll say, minute of game time before I switch over to Kyle.
I say. It's hiding under the alchemical table, right? So let's put something in front of it to see if we could block its blind sight or block its sight where it is, but not damage it.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, you stick something down on the ground in front of it, and it just scurries around and continues watching.
Damn it.
It's a living creature. It's just a spirit.
Shoot. Do we have a box? Oh, great.
Oh my gosh, guys.
Put it in a box.
No, we
Okay.
put the box. Yeah.
So
You guys are failing
you
to
can-
realize that anything you do, he's still gonna know. Like,
Acknowledging the rat is probably the biggest sign that you're not supposed to be there.
Okay,
Um,
yeah. Let's just keep moving forward then to the next room.
Yeah.
So are you moving south?
Yeah, we're going south.
No,
Okay.
east.
East?
Yeah. East, because that's the door that's not blocked.
Fair enough. So you pop open the door to the east, and you hear a goblin coming. He's like, gotta tell the boss that we have visitors. We have Black Rose visitors.
Oh,
I stand off to the side, put my head down, do like the old creepy monk looking thing, like I'm supposed to be there. I'm just letting him through.
Well, you're not in his way. He's coming up, and like he would be in front of you about 15 feet as he's going into the next door past the door that you guys were just pushing open. So he's too busy and occupied with what he's doing to even have noticed you guys. And then he hooks a right through the door that would be straight ahead of you, and you probably be able to hear him telling King Groll, "Yes, we have the visitors. We not the visitors. We have visitors."
Okay, cool.
You would most likely also be able to hear the king going, "Visitors? I wasn't expecting no visitors."
Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition.